The South African Association of Freight Forwarders has added its voice to condemn the ongoing riots in the country. Now, to speak to us more about the impact these acts of looting and destruction of property will have on supply chain, we're joined by Dave Logan, Chief Executive Officer at the South African Association of Freight Forwarders. Thank you very much, Dave, for your time this evening. So can you tell us, first of all, the extent of the impact and the damage to the supply chain, the value chain? Because we've seen not only shops and businesses looted and burned, we've seen factories, locations of production, warehouses, trucks. The entire value chain has been affected. So what's left of it?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the invitation to talk to you. I think the key is that our national supply chain is not functional at the moment, and supply chains and trade is the lifeblood of an economy. And at the moment, we're very concerned, as the South African Association of Freight Forwarders, that nothing is moving. Obviously, we had truck burning over the weekend or prior to this last weekend, and the N3 toll concession route from Johannesburg to Durban is not functioning. Just this evening, I got a message to say that the between Sadara and Harrismith, that route is not operational. The toll concession company is concerned, and so we will work with them to open that route, because it's the lifeblood of our economy in terms of the route between the port, Durban, and Gauteng.
So that supply chain is very intricate. There are so many small, medium and large role players. What kind of processes need to be put in place, and how difficult is it to reinstate our supply chain to at least some semblance of functioning?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy, but we actually put together, a 7-point plan today. Firstly, the port needs to start operating and functioning, but the port needs to be secure. So we're proposing that the SAPS Border Police secure the port, and so that the staff are safe and they can go to work.
I'm going to jump in there and ask you on that point, what activity has been occurring at the Durban port to make you say that it's not safe at this point?
Well, the problem is that the staff are not keen to go to work because of the lack of security. So we're proposing that security needs to be beefed up by the SAPS Border Police, who that's their function, is to police the borders, and that's the border for us, the Durban port, and it's key and critical to that N3 supply chain. That's the start of the route. So that's what we're proposing. And as I say, we only put this plan together today, a 7-point plan, and we'll work with government through our colleagues at the Business Unity South Africa to put it into place as soon as possible. Because as I said, if we don't get that toll route moving, then we're going to have major problems.
So currently we're sitting with a situation where businesses who have received goods at the Durban port and need them to be transported up to Joburg are, as you say, unable to take delivery of those goods. They cannot be transported, and as such they have to pay demurrage. What's the backup of containers being received at the Durban port like, and what kind of problems could we run into down the road if that isn't moved soon?
There'll be major problems. At the moment, some of the shipping lines have said they're not going to impose storage and demurrage charges, which is good to hear. But if we don't start to move those containers out of the port and up into Gauteng, across the N3 toll route, then they will start imposing demurrage charges. And that's what we had in the lockdown last year. And that ran into millions of rands, and that, at the end of the day, affects the end consumer. That's what we're trying to avoid this time.
So securing the port is the starting point, but obviously also if we're going to see goods being transported via the N3 up to inland provinces, there's going to be an incredible demand for security for trucking companies, for freight moving companies. How do we even start approaching that when we have such a history of violence directed at the freight industry?
One solution is armed convoy system, rather than trucks moving on their own. And the other one is that the toll plazas need to be open so that trucks don't back up. For example, at the Moy River toll plaza, which we've seen often on your channel, of trucks burning at that particular toll plaza. But the toll plaza, financial arrangements can be made for those tolls to be paid. But rather than let the trucks stop and back up where they're vulnerable, we can move through those toll plazas as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Certainly it seems there is a mountain of work ahead in terms of trying to get that supply chain active and moving again in South Africa.